Good day, leaders. I'd like to confirm if I'm being heard. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. I believe many of us are from Africa, but just in case you are on this call and you're not in Africa, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day. Am I being heard, leaders?
Yes.
Thank you, Bev. Thank you so much. Thank you. Leaders, welcome. Yes, thank you, Leader Snare from Johannesburg. I'd like to thank all the leaders on the call. Thank you for always being on time. I absolutely appreciate you all. Thank you. Some of you are in your workplace, some of you are in your different offices, in your different businesses, and you have tuned in again this Thursday for the IEDF CDC training. Our topic today is from leadership to action. Before we start, I'd like us to give honor to the Almighty God, and I will be calling on anyone I'm seeing on my screen, Leader Camille Cole, Camille. Leader, I see you on my screen. Please, can you lead us with an opening prayer? Thank you so much. Please unmute your mic, sir. Can you hear me? Are you here? Leader Camille, can you help us with an opening prayer, sir?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Good day, sir. How are you?
Okay. I'm fine. And you?
I'm awesome.
Thank
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
leaders. This morning, I will to thank God for this moment. He make us a good leaders to run Africa and to fight poverty in Africa. We thank God for us because He gave nous the power to run this moment to build Africa. I will thank God for everybody who assists this meeting, and I thank God to make us a power, a strength to continue to help people build the future. Thank God in our name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, leader, for that powerful prayer. A big, big amen. Leaders, you are all welcome. I'd like
Thank
to,
you.
first of all, thank you. You can mute your mic now, sir. I'd like to, first of all, thank the global president, the deputy global president, all the African heads. All right, I'm seeing a message, okay? I will read your message. All the Africa heads, if you're on the call, the chapter heads of all the sectors and their CDCs, if you're on this call, all the youths, you are welcome. If you're on this call, all the CDC potential leaders and leaders, if you're on this call, leaders in Africa and the world, welcome. We have begun an amazing journey, and this journey has been so inspiring and powerful. This morning is another very interactive, powerful session. The CDC Leadership Training, CDC Community Development Committee Training is an interactive, powerful sessions where we build from leadership to actually transformational work in our communities. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. I remain your humble leader, Mary Otibu, the IEDF. Bev, thank you. Leader Mary, the IEDF Global Head for Education and Training. Leaders, I'm not here because I'm most qualified. I'm here because God called me and I'm answering a call. And I'm really excited to be here speaking to each and every one of you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your continuous commitment to this call. Today, we move on to chapter 6. Leaders, our global IT have sent us, global IT executive have sent us the masterclass for today's chapter. I believe some of you, I'm hoping you've gone through it. However, just in case you haven't, this is why we have these sessions. But going through it part before now actually helps you to, assimilate more. And when it's time for you to make an input, you'll definitely be able to, make more constructive input into the class. But nonetheless, we will start our journey today, the journey of transformational leaders, which we are all transformational leaders. Leaders, I'm excited to also share with you that just before the end of today's session, we will be talking to some of our amazing leaders who have started their CDCs. We'll be hearing from them and learning from them. Leaders, the journey has begun. And for every time we come together, somebody is actually doing the work. We need to hear from one another. Remember, leaders, the ground rule for the CDC training is I'm not training alone. We are all in this together. We are building one another for the growth of Africa and the world entirely. So our subject today, the objective is how leaders are developed, how leadership is beyond just a talk, it is a process, how the CDC raises accountable leaders. By now, I know you know what CDC means and why movement will fail without leadership system. So leaders, one of the greatest problems in our communities, which you all know, is the absence of, is not just the absence of people. There are people in our community, but the absence of leadership systems. Many people want change. We all desire change in our countries, leaders. We all desire change in our communities, leaders. But change must be built for. Well, few people are trained to build change. Change is not a wishful thinking, leaders. If it was, Africa would have been the biggest continent, the most effective continent on earth. But it's not a wishful thinking. It is building the people, changing the mindset, and actually getting to work. So in our CDC trainings, even from last week, we started last week, we had our foundation of the CDC, why we exist as a CDC. Last week, we talked about the structure of a CDC. If you remember, leaders, last week, we talked about the executives of a CDC, and I explained each and every one of those executives. Then we spoke about multiplication model of a CDC. And in the multiplication model, we talked about we start in twos, right? The chairperson and the deputy chairperson. The deputy chairperson works closely with the chairperson. I just want to reiterate that point because that's a very critical point in our in the CDC model where we multiply. CDCs must multiply. And in the CDC multiplication model, the two leaders who work hand in hand to build other structures. Once that structure is built, work is going on and it's sustainable, another set of two moves to another community to start. And that's how multiplication starts in the CDC model. The global president has given us an amazing document to explain deeply what the multiplication model for the CDC is, because it's the critical path, of raising, of building the numbers we require to make a change. Change is not made by just one or two persons. Until you hit numbers, you have really not started a movement. So we will be sharing with you that document so that you go through it. It guides each and every one of us on how we can multiply in our CDC. So I come back to today. What is CTASA, leaders? We've been hearing CTASA. We will keep hearing these words because this is the way of work in the IEDF. The CTASA, the C is for call. Leadership, your CDC, you are called. Then we train. We train our members, the people we want to work with in the CDC. We give them authority to think through, to develop programs, to know what exactly do we require to do in the CDC. That's the basic leadership model in IEDF, the CTASA. We send our leaders, and our leaders must be accountable. Leaders, think about this. If this model works correctly, it means that we will develop our leaders correctly, we'll equip everyone correctly, we'll release them for responsibility correctly, and we'll be able to monitor them correctly. You don't send people who you're not accountable for. You don't send people who you don't expect to get feedbacks from. So that is the CTASA model. You know, sometimes when we say all of this, it just keeps coming and ringing so that before you know it, for everything you want to do, you're thinking CTASA. How does this apply? How do I use CTASA to be able to achieve this in my community? That's what we're trying to build. That's why this communication, as we do this all the time, it begins to sink. Like I said yesterday, reputation is the key to lasting impression. So the C begins with a purpose. Leadership does not begin with a title. It first of all begins with you having a strong conviction of what you want to do in your community. And I believe that's why most of us are here today. You then have a responsibility to your conviction. All right? And based on your purpose in life. What is your purpose? What are you convinced about? And are you taking responsibility? A person must understand that you are called to lead and why. And that's why in the IEDF, you find out that every time when we're in meetings, and leaders, remember the leadership meeting we talked about the last week. You must always speak about your why for. Why are you doing what you are doing? If you don't know your why, very soon you'll be pressured to leave your purpose because you don't know your why. Your why must be said every day. You look yourself in the mirror, you must know your why on earth. Why are you doing what you're doing? It's something that you must continuously brood on as a leader. Leaders without purpose, we lose direction. With our purpose, we become distracted. The world is full of distraction. It's a world of negotiation. Everything is negotiating for your time. The reason why you're on this call, leaders today, is because you are purposeful. Because you know why. You know your why for. If not, anything else could have negotiated your time, leaders. So we are not distracted when we've got purpose. And you don't stop building when your purpose is clear. So the title doesn't make the leader. It is responsibility. That is the C in the CTASA. That is the C in the CTASA. Let's go to the T in the CTASA. The T, leaders, we must be trained. You cannot do so much without being trained on what exactly you want to achieve. It is either the visionary is training you, and when you get the vision, you are also training the people. People must be equipped for change. Potential is not enough. If you're a young person from maybe the creative CDC, whatever CDC you're coming from, on this call, you must appreciate training. Take, for instance, a young musician who has become a phenomenal person in the community. Without training, without discipline, you will lose out because at the end of the day, young people have potential, all right, to be undisciplined if they're not well trained. So it doesn't matter how much you've got so much potential, you need to train yourself. You need to get more skill to be able to meet up with the competitive world we have today, irrespective of the community you are from. Discipline, leaders. Leaders must be disciplined to achieve anything formidable and, with potential growth in any community. It takes discipline. It's beyond your emotions. It's about you being intentional about what you want. Thank you for being so disciplined. We all enter the meeting so on time. That is discipline. That is the change, leaders. We are respecting ourselves when it comes to time management. It shows that we are all disciplined leaders in all our in all our committees, and of course in our contacts, and all we do in life. It shows discipline. Leaders' growth. Growth is not optional. Remember, I'm talking about the T. What leaders require to be developed. We need training, we need discipline, we need growth, and we need understanding. We need understanding of your environment, of your community, of the needs of the people. If you're not meeting the needs, then you're not leading them. If you're not meeting the needs, then your CDC is not relevant to whatever is happening in your community. When leaders are untrained, it's a risk. It's a big risk in every community when leaders are untrained. They create confusion. They create confusion. They make emotional decisions. I just talked about discipline. They make emotional decisions. They struggle to reproduce system when leaders are untrained. So for every time you join this trainings, it shows that you are the IEDF leader. You are the IEDF leader building a great CDC in your community because you have disciplined yourself for training, irrespective of your acumen, irrespective of your leadership in every other ecosystems in the world. You choose to be here to listen, be trained, work with us, and build a formidable CDC. Thank you once again, leaders. The A is for authority. The A is for authorities. Leaders must be trusted to act. We have quite a lot of trusted leaders in this place. So when I speak with all due respect. Leaders must be trusted with authority. After you're trained, of course you are given responsibility, but are you trusted? Are you trusted to empower people? Are you trusted to go ahead and allow others to lead? So leaders must be entrusted with authority when you are given responsibility. But authority always will operate with humility. Authority will always operate with humility. Leaders, humility is not conformity. Humility is actually gaining deep respect that you are dealing with people and not stones and computers. People are people. So when you are dealing with people in our communities, you must be humble to give honor to whom honor is due. Imagine having to have a project in the community and you are not respecting the authorities of that community. You're not going to succeed. And you think you know it all. You will not. You must engage the people. You must be humble to engage the people, the women leaders, the government officials. That's humility. Then integrity. Integrity is key because once we are leaders in communities, people are looking up to us. Your word becomes your bound. You are bound to your word. Your action, you no longer live for yourself. You can't be a youth leader and be the one drinking and and misbehaving and molesting young people. You can't do that because you are a leader. You must have integrity and you must be accountable. We spoke about this last week about accountability. Your accountability doesn't mean that we are looking off your shoulder or we are trying to, yes, of course, monitoring and evaluation is in every project, leaders. If you've handled, you all have handled projects. What you don't monitor, don't expect any outcome when you don't monitor progress. So accountability is key for us, when we build our CDC's leaders. I'm not saying anything you don't know. You know it already. I'm just bringing these things to your attention. And I know that as I bring it to your attention, you are inspired to do more and improve in some of your processes, in the things you are leading or you want to lead in your communities. And I'm going to be hearing few of them from you this afternoon. Leaders, the S is the send. Leadership, we send. Leadership, we send. Leadership must move into action. Without sending, we're just still talking. Meanwhile, talk is part of the process. It is a very integral initiation part of the process, but talk is not enough. We must then act after we're done talking, after we're done mobilizing, after we're done motivating. We move to action, and that is then the sending. When people learn, when they attend meetings, they receive motivation, it's not enough. They must move. They must take action, no matter how simple the action is. An action is an action, a step towards the right direction for that vision. So that's why action is very important. So that's where movement is built on. We send people, we send leaders into communities. If leaders are not sent, communities may never change. If leaders are not sent, communities may never change. The A in the CTASA stands for accountability. Do you still want me to say more about accountability, leaders? Yes, maybe I can. We are building a system. Leaders, system outlast you. If you've got a business and you don't have a system of accountability, it means that that business will crumble immediately. You exit, you retire, you travel. There's no accountability. You don't know what is going on. That's why accountability is key. We report weekly. We show progress. Leaders reporting weekly doesn't mean it's a big report or big event. No, it could just be an initiation meeting. You just report it. It could just be an engagement with the community, just to initiate what you want to do. You just report it. And then before long, it becomes your tradition. In Africa, we don't like to report. We don't like to be accountable. But that's how systems are built. And forgive me when I say in Africa, because many of us are in Africa. So we want to improve the way we work in Africa. We must be comfortable when we are asked to report. It's part of progress. It's progress report, it's status report, whatever it is, just articulate it in a format that has been given to you for anyone to read and know what is going on in your country, or what is going on in your city, or what is going on in your community. It's as simple as that. Is it easy? Absolutely not. You are dealing with people. It's not going to be easy, but with consistency, we get it right and it becomes a culture. Leaders were trying to create a culture, a way of work, and we take responsibility. So when we are accountable, we report weekly, we show progress, we take responsibility, and it becomes a culture, becomes a disciplined culture. So that's it. When anything is not written, leaders, you don't have any evidence. It didn't happen. So no matter how good it is, if it's not reported, it never happened. So leaders, that is the CTASA. That is CTASA. You keep hearing this. We are called, we're trained, we're trusted, we're active, and we are accountable. Give me a thumbs up if CTASA is clear. Let me see your thumbs up if CTASA is clear. Let me see your thumbs down if CTASA is not clear. Thank you, Leader Bev. Thank you, Leader Florence. Thank you so much, leaders. CTASA. Hi, Leader Paul. CTASA is clear. Amazing. Let's move to the next chapter. The next slide, please. Now we move to chapter 7, leaders, the VSIRA. Now, this is where the vision comes in. We're turning visions into weekly action. What is the vision of your CDC? What do you want to achieve in your CDC? Do you have a clear written vision of what God is putting in your heart? Remember, no great leaders can build without being inspired from that power from on high. So have you written it down? So how do we move from ideas to execution? Your ideas are your visions. How do CDC stay practical, from theory to practical? How can communities really solve real problems systematically? So remember, the good book says, without vision, the people perish. So vision without action becomes frustration. You've got the vision, it's laid in your heart, but you're not making any action towards it. You become frustrated. And let me tell you something, leaders. In life, visions are like electric power. Once you've got a vision, it's picked up. It can be picked up by someone else. When you don't act on it, you can see somebody else in the community doing it or somebody else in the country doing it. And you're like, oh, and God actually asked me to do this. Or I actually had a vision to do it. That's it. Once you don't act, another person can pick it up and begin to work on it. So don't get frustrated. Just start by putting your actions to your vision. So many communities, we know the problem, all right? We know the challenges. It's easy to talk about it. The government is not doing this. The mayors are not doing this. I have a vision. I know what to do. Are you doing anything about it? Start. That's the VSIRA. You start. The VSIRA, you start with your vision, all right? The S starts from the skills. When you have a vision, you identify what skills do I require to be able to act on this vision. And that's where we come in. Whatever training you require, our sector is there to help you build that skills. Remember, we are all collaborating together as a global family, as an African family. Whatever skills you need, we come together. Do we need to write for grants for that skills? Let's come together. Do we already have amazing leaders on this call who can give you that skill free? Let's come together. Identify what skills do you require for the vision. We've got the leadership management system in IEDF. We can do so much together. But if you do not identify the skills needed, there's really nothing we can do. That's why the structure is key. That's why the structure is key. I is for incentives, leaders. What are the incentives we need to be able to build our CDCs? All right. So our skills can be with the confidence, the employability, entrepreneurship. Do you need leadership capacity? We're here to do that. The incentives, all right. It could mean, what do people need to progress? What opportunities do you have in your community? If it is a farming community, that's an incentive. That's already an opportunity. What if you've got land? All right, that's an opportunity for a farming CDC. So you just need to know, what do I have? What do I have? What do I have to make progress? What do I have to bring hope to this community? Incentives are not always money. Sometimes when we think incentives, we think about, okay, what are they going to pay me? The money will come. I tell you, leaders, the money will come once you build your structure and people see what you are doing. The government, your leadership, I'm talking about the leadership in that community, see what you're doing. It will attract support. But when you don't build structure, there will be no support. There will be no support. So you need to encourage the people. Incentives can come from encouragement. It can come from recognition, giving people direction. What about a sense of belonging? Do you know that there are people in communities who will do anything once you give them a sense of belonging? Once you make them know, you know what, you are the leader now, right? That's all they've been looking for. They've been idle. Now get them working. That's all they've been looking for. They want to be recognized. There's a woman there, she's a widow. You have a widow program and you say, you know what, I want you to work with other widows. Let's see how we can work together. Let's see how we can build programs together. Oh, you've given her an opportunity to shine. Something is bubbling on the inside of her. She's ready. She's gotten somewhere she belongs. Leaders, that's what incentives are. All right. If I give you an opportunity to speak now, you may never want to be paid, but just because you know you've got amazing people on this call and you've got the opportunity to speak to all of us, do you know that that's part of an incentive? It will encourage you more and more to build. So that's what incentive is. I'm taking time because I'm just trying to really let us see more, on what these things are, and we can really see that building our CDC is absolutely possible. Leaders, the R for VSIRA stands for resources. Resources, yes, very important. Resources can be people. The people, if every one of us on this call were a great resource, we're a great resource. So many of you have years of experience. That's a great resource. Another young person doesn't need to suffer because of your years of experience. This document was built by somebody else because that person have failed many times, have gained, has been hurt many times. He's putting all his experience together. I don't need to fail anymore. I don't need to be hurt anymore. I'm just building on the resource of another man. So that is the people. All right. The businesses, the business opportunities in our communities are part of our resources. The business opportunities in our communities are part of our resources. If you have a community that is blessed with a natural resource, we can start up a business around that. So let's look out for business opportunities in our community. That's how to eradicate poverty. It's not by wishful thinking. It's about building sustainable businesses within the community. What about our knowledge? What about our knowledge? Each and every one of us are knowledgeable in different fields and ecosystems where you have worked, where you have given your expertise. Your expertise are a great resource. Some of us can write for grants. Some of us can, there's so much you have done before. Can we bring it to the IEDF CDC community and let's build a knowledge bank? A knowledge bank. What do you know that I don't know? Networks. That is it. This is already a network. That's what the IEDF provides, a platform where you can network with people in other countries. The people you know is all the resource or the foundational resource to where you are going to go to in life. It's all about people. Life is all about people. God is all about people. Innovation is all about people. Even the deep states are all about people. The devil is also all about people. So networks, your network really, yeah, that's true. The devil is all about people. If you believe there is one, it's all about people. So networks is very key. We are building an amazing, strong network in the CDC. A network that cannot be destroyed. Partnerships. So you do have a network, it's all of us, but you then identify, you then align. That's partnership leaders, alignment to each other. We cannot all work with one another, all right, depending on our ecosystems, but we can identify who we can work. I've already identified some of the leaders that I'm going to be calling up to speak to us, to work with us in the educational sector. That is partnership. We must partner. So the A is the action. Leaders, every week, we must take an action. We got to do something. Call your team together. It could be just two, you and your deputy. What do we do? Can we write the vision? Can we, what are the needs? That is work. Something is happening. Who is responsible? All right. Can you bring A? Can I bring B? Responsibility. Things must start happening, when we leave this call. And things are already happening. I'm going to be sharing with you. Our leaders will be coming to share. Things are already happening. Woo, thank you so much, leaders. Can I get your thumbs up if you're still with me? Are you sipping your tea? Are you sleeping? You can't sleep now. I know it's cold in South Africa. Thank you so much, leaders. I know you are working in your office, but you're listening in. Thank you so much, leaders. I just want to be sure you are alive and well. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right. So we move on to registering our CDC. Okay. How do we launch our CDC? There's no need to delay. Okay, we can. And leaders, I just want you to know that when we talk about registration and the requirements, when you do not have milestones in front of you, your actions are not quantifiable. You can't really quantify what I have been able to do. So when you aim for the sky and you stop at maybe the cloud, at least you aimed for something. So when we say 7 days, we're giving you that benchmark so you are working towards something. I like to work with, time. Give me a time frame. You meet up with the time frame, you give yourself a thumbs up. You don't meet up with the time frame, you tell yourself, I gotta push. That's it. You can't leave things open, leaders. We can't just leave things open. If not, the vision will never be achieved. Do you know you can sit down on your seat and 2030 will come and meet you? Are you aware? Can I get a thumbs up? You can just be seated, sipping your tea day after day, and 2030 will just come. And you'll be like, oh, we're already in 2030? Leaders, imagine we're already in May. I remember when we said Happy New Year, but now we are in May. That's to show you time waits for no one. Time will keep moving. So when we say 7 days, it's because we must give ourselves time frame. Time frame so that when we reach it, we can say, yes, we are making progress. And when we do not, we keep pushing. We do not delay. So it's simple to begin, all right? The objective is just a simple begin, the importance of the urgency. 2030 is not that far. It's not really that far. And then the step-by-step progress of launching your CDC. So we say we're looking for perfect conditions. We're looking for money. We got to be convenient. It's not always the case. The movement starts when you decide to start, not waiting for perfect conditions, not waiting for, there are many programs we can start without money. Let's start first. I remember when I was building my NGO or my NPO, Beth, I just started. I didn't wait for money. Do you know, I just started with my contacts. I went to communities and I just started training young people. And before you know it, I got contacts from European Union to say, we want to work with you in South Africa, we want to work with you here. But if I had waited, I would never get the attractions. So that's it. You start. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You don't wait. I didn't have money. I invested because I had a vision. Today, I'm talking to you leaders. I'm coming from somewhere. I didn't just drop from the sky. You don't just make somebody the IEDF Global Head for Education and Training. She doesn't have portfolio of evidence. Do you see? So that's how it works. You got to start from somewhere. You must start from somewhere. People must know that, oh, I knew her. I know when she started, when nobody knew her. That's how it works. You didn't have to have money. You just have confidence. I'm speaking with you today with confidence because I'm doing something. So leaders, you've got that confidence because you are doing something or you are about to start something. And I'm going to be showcasing some of our leaders who are doing something in the next few minutes. Just stay with me. So day one, decide to lead. You have decided already. Start your structure. You already know how the structure is. Start, and then you create your teams and the meetings. You take responsibility. Day two, the leadership masterclass. Leaders, you are the one who is responsible to take the masterclass because you are the ones who are visionary leaders. The rest of your CDC members do not necessarily have to do the masterclass. All right, you recruit them. But when you want to then give them, they want to go out and launch their CDC, then they must do the masterclass. All right, because sometimes if you wait for everyone to do the masterclass before you start, you may never start. But you are the leader, you've done the leadership masterclass. Transmit that knowledge and that information to your leaders. When they now need to move, multiplication, when they now need to move to build a CDC, you bring them back to do the masterclass thoroughly so that they can lead the way you have led. I hope that it's well clear. Can I get a thumbs up if you understand me? If you need me to say that again, I could say that again. Thank you, Beth. I think it's clear. All right. Leaders, you are the one who is responsible to take the masterclass as the foundational leadership structure in IEDF. You build your CDCs together, your team. They don't have to take the masterclass as a start. It's not compulsory. But if they need to multiply and go to another community to start up a CDC, then you need to bring them to take the masterclass, or you need to share with them the masterclass link, because they must lead the way you are leading. But within your CDC, transfer the masterclass knowledge to your CDC, encourage them to join. Nothing stops you, but it's not compulsory that you have all your team must take the CDC, take the masterclass for you to register. Please get that, and I thank you so much. All right, so identify your 12 leaders. Leaders, we've got amazing leaders who have already identified 12 leaders. It's not a simple journey, but people are making progress, and I'm so inspired and energized to do more. Leaders, work with teachable people. You see, leadership is very spiritual. Work with teachable people. You don't want to work with people who are always against you. Select people who you are aligned with, people who you know you can work with. You can't work with everyone, I tell you. Not everybody has a type of personality you have. So work with teachable people, work with responsible people. All right, no need to reinvent the wheel. Work with responsible people. Work with people who are willing to serve and willing to grow. You are willing, that's why you're here. Work with people who are willing to serve and willing to grow. Invite them as we begin to round up leaders. Invite them, hold your CDC meetings. All right, establish your vision leaders. Establish your culture, which is the culture of love. IEDF is the culture of love. So we're looking forward to having the CDC with disabled people. Please, leaders, culture of love. Structure is key and purposeful. CDC is the point. Your CDC must have a purpose. Inspire ourselves. That's why you're here. If you're not here, if we're not inspiring each other, you will never be able to come again. Register your CDC once you are 12, and we begin to work. So leaders, that is where we are today. Officially, you register your CDC, and what are the benefits of a registration, leaders? I want to hammer on that. You get support. You get global support. You get global network. You get visibility. Leaders, you get partners. A CDC in Kenya can get a partnership from a CDC in Zambia, in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe. A lot begins to happen and opportunities are created. Then collaboration begins. So leaders, let's have your CDC in the IEDF, directory. We've got, the IEDF app. It gives you exposure and networking opportunities. So I call you today to act. In the next 7 days, let's hear what is happening in your community. Now, I'd like to, without further ado, invite our leader. Our leader from Zimbabwe, are you on the call?
Yes,
leader from the... Hey! Leader, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for the teaching. It was amazing.
Thank you, my leader. Okay, leaders, you don't know why I'm laughing, okay? I'm inviting our leader, Sikan. She is our newest CDC chairperson for Zimbabwe. She has just registered her 12-man CDC. Leaders, let's celebrate our wins, okay? Yes, it starts from one step to another, but we are so proud of you, leader. I am really inspired. I want you to share with us what really motivated you. How did you do it? 12 already. Talk to us, leader.
Awesome. Thank you for the floor. I'd like to say thank you to Mary for this opportunity to speak and just share a bit on how we did it here in Zimbabwe. I didn't do it alone. I'd like to thank IEDF itself for the Leadership Masterclass. It's an amazing, amazing tool that helps you navigate certain things that you will see when you start setting up your own CDCs. So firstly, I'm coming from a background where I was taught servant leadership in high school. I know it's really a bit back, but when I was in high school, we were taught how to serve as a leader. So when I did my masterclass, it just really all added up because Jesus was first and foremost a servant leader. So it was very easy to then walk those shoes because I had the blueprint, which was our masterclass teaching. Then in terms of finding people who I was working with, really it's something I really prayed about and spoke to God a lot about, because this is a hardcore. It's not a action, it's an action call, but it's mostly your heart. Is your heart and your calling hand in hand? Leader Mary spoke on it having to be a calling. Yes, leaders, it has to be a calling. It can't be anything but God working and directing you. So my team is really made up of very close friends, and people who I've journeyed with in life and have seen them develop and lead in their own aspects in life. Our chairperson for Zimbabwe chapter, who's Tariro Karira, leader Tariro, she's been an amazing chairperson, guiding me and working with me in this journey. So the committee I chose was for teen moms who were raped. They're in a safe house and they were raped and need a lot of support. So I'd already previously been working with them. So I just took what we had and use them as my template in terms of where my calling was, because it's something I was already doing. So you may not be too far off. You may already have something that you're working towards, and you just slide it in together with the IEDF creed and framework. So yes, it's really been a journey, and I would love to thank the support of IEDF, both global, local, regional. They've been really working together, and as Leader Mary was just talking on certain points, they really stood out because we are a community. You're not working alone. You have people who you can call on and who can actually want to journey this with you and help you and give you things that you might not need, you might not think you need, but you actually need. You might think I need resources, but sometimes what you already have in your hand could be the resource that you need, but you just need to look at it from a different perspective. Yes, so it's been exciting. I'm really looking forward. Again, I love to say that it has to be a heart and a calling. Your vision has to be very clear. Like she said on the teaching, you need to know what you need to write it down and make the vision clear, as it says in the Bible. Because if you don't have the vision and you don't have it as the leader, you will sidetrack, you'll be discouraged. But if you have it at the core of you, you'll be able to really work it out and go ahead and lead. So yes, leaders, it's a challenge that's been put there, but it's an amazing journey. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a work in progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like what Leader Mary said about when she started, it wasn't clear. She didn't know, but she just went because she had the heart. Eventually, it will all come in together. And then once it's coming together, it's so easy for you to then see who you need to work with and how you can plug in with that person and have them lead with you. So yes, leaders, we have a call on our hand. We've been trusted with it. We need to act on it. We need to serve. And then we also need to account. Accountability is very important. And it's amazing how you have everything at the tip of your fingers in terms of reporting, in terms of steering, in terms of acting. If you use your leadership model, the CTASA, it's brilliant on that. Yes. I won't take much time, but I'm really excited and thank you so much for giving me the floor.
Thank you, leader. You are simply amazing. Thank you so much for teaching us your how. You taught us amazingly of what you did. We are so proud of you, like every other leader on the call. Amazing work you have done. Thank you. Thank you, Zimbabwe. That's really touching. For you to do this in Zimbabwe, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Leaders, the change has begun. The picture is clear. The vision is possible. I call on you today. We really can do something in our communities to make a change. Leaders, I'd like to read you one of our leaders who cannot speak right now, and I'm taking permission because I'm so inspired to let you know that a lot of work is happening. One of our leaders on the call right now, all right, she is an ECD educator, and we have been talking. She's building a CDC within the ECD education sector with children, okay? All right. And children who did not progress in school, all right? children who have not excelled in communities. She's putting them together. She already has like 100 chairs in her garage for them, early childhood development. Thank you so much, leader. And she is so passionate. Oh my God. It's not been easy. Guess what? She has I think she has about 2 more to complete her structure. 2 more to complete her structure for her CDC. Leaders, I'm just sharing because it's very inspiring for me when we talk about women and children in our world today. So CDCs are being built for women and children. And she's requiring a land or a facility in a community in Mongale City municipality. So leaders, if you have information on how she can get a land, we'll be sharing. Please remember, we are collaborating together, just like leader has said from Zimbabwe, to see how we can help her. From the schools, we have meetings, in the place of the community. She's writing on the chat. She's at work right now. I'm her voice. Leader, I'm your voice. Don't worry. I'm speaking for you. You are doing an amazing work. So she's really doing an amazing work. She's very passionate. So we want to do more for children. And I know that God has called so many of us, to build CDCs around children. So leaders, I will be engaging with you. We are looking for a land. I'm with her on this. We are looking for a land, for a facility where we can put 100 children together. Wow, I'm really excited, and I'm grateful for this call that she has answered. Leaders, thank you. I won't take most of your time because I know it's work time, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all we have learned today. Leaders, let it not just be words. Let it be words that turn into actions, like we have heard from our leaders. Let's work with what we already have, things that already exist in our hands, but let's work with it using the CTASA model, using the VSIRA model, and we're making things happen in all our communities. Leaders, go through these documents again. Go through it again. Repetition is the key to lasting impression. Don't assume that in the class we get to know it all. Just use it as a guide when you really need to, technically know what to do in building our CDC. Will I see you next week, leaders? Let me see your thumbs up if I'm going to see you next week, leaders. Will I see you next week, leaders? Thank you. All right. Will you bring someone next week, leaders? Let me see your thumbs up if you will bring someone next week, leaders. Will you bring someone next week, leaders? Is that thumbs up for bringing someone next week? Amazing leaders. Other people who have great hearts like you, who wants to make a change in Africa, must come to these meetings, the Leadership Masterclass and the CDC. Let's get people to know that we are different. There are actually some different breeds in Africa. Do you see? We are the different breeds in Africa. We are thinking solution. God bless you, leaders. I see you next week, and make sure you fulfill your vow. You vowed it to God and to all of us. You will be here. All right, Leader Nolizo, you want to say something? Please, quickly.
Good afternoon, Leader Mary. Good afternoon, everybody in the room.
Good afternoon, Leader Nolizo.
Leader Mary, as you know, this is my first CDC training. This is chapter 6, right? So I want to find out, how do I catch up on the previous trainings?
All right, on CDC. So
yes.
We've got the handbook. We'll send you the handbook.
Okay.
If you are, yes, there's the handbook. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you. I didn't know you were here until your hands were raised. So we'll send you the handbook, and I think the recordings are also there. But then the handbook is there, and once we come in, we can do a recap on the CDCs and how we build our CDCs. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. We'll send you the handbook.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you enjoy it, leader? Were you inspired? Yes.
Yes, I think also I'm trying to catch up.
All
so
right.
My mind was racing in terms of where does it all start. I'm already joining at chapter 6, but I'll be fine. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
All right, that's good. Awesome. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you so much, leaders, for your time. Thank you for your patience. We are having an amazing time, and I look forward to